Hello, I'm Adarsh Williams, and welcome to my workshop, which is really about taking someone who's already practicing yoga, who's already an experienced yogi, and helping to make them better. I think that many of us will enter yoga and we're working on developing our body, we're developing our mind. But what happens when we've already been practicing and we're ready to go to that next level? So this workshop is really about leveling up your practice. It's about refining fundamentals, and it's about improving those things that can really take that yoga practice to the next stage. For example, someone who's wanting to do a handstand, the foundation of a handstand is really crucial. It's not about just going to the wall and jumping up against it. It's about establishing fundamentals around how the hands are placed and how the shoulders are working. So in this workshop, we spend a lot of time working with our foundation practices. And then through a solid foundation, we're able to take our yoga practice to stages that we didn't previously expect. In both practices, we're focused on really the elegant simplicity of the practice. That is breath, movement, bandha, and meditation. The principles are quite simple. Of course, applying those principles to practice is really where the challenge is for most of us. So we'll work on techniques to really apply those techniques quite well and effectively so that you can get the most out of your practice. The afternoon sessions will go into workshops for improving individual positions. The first day we'll have a focus on back bending postures. Pain-free back bends is necessary for everyone to have longevity in their practice. In fact, you're only as youthful as your spine is supple. Many of us will have one part of the spine that's quite flexible that we bend maybe in our lower back, but we'll have other parts of the spine that are not bending quite as well. So we'll work on distributing the arch more evenly through the entire spinal column, and we'll work on stability patterns so that we can have more pain-free back bends. Although my teaching and practice is based in Ashtanga yoga, my ultimate goal is not just to teach Ashtanga yoga. I'm always looking to empower individuals to deepen their practice, whatever their style or tradition. The goal for me is to establish a meta pattern, sort of a bigger picture of what yoga is. So rather than teaching a style of yoga, I'm more interested in teaching an approach to yoga. So if you're an Iyengar yogi, you could actually use the techniques that we work within the Ashtanga practice to improve your Iyengar practice. Or maybe even if you're not doing yoga, you can still apply the basics of breathing and bandha to whatever you're doing. A few years ago, when I became interested in the gym and athletic performance, I realized that I could go into the gym and I could use my same breathing techniques, nasal breathing with Ujjayi breath. I could use my same bandha technique to improve my strength practice in the gym. So what we see is that these traditional principles of yoga are applicable to any type of movement. After all, movement is movement. If you're working with your shoulder, it doesn't matter if you're doing a yoga pose or something else. The shoulder is the shoulder. It doesn't change. And the rules that govern the shoulder do not change no matter what you're doing. So our workshop will have elements of Ashtanga yoga and certainly is suitable for traditional Ashtangis, but has a greater application to anyone who has a body. So I welcome you to join for the workshop.